This is a warning to all listeners and viewers that this episode today contains graphic descriptions of violence and listener discretion is advised. Davina was the victim of a brutal acid attack in a parking lot outside a gym in Hawaii. According to court documents and public records, a suspect approached Davina, allegedly attempted to shoot her, and then doused her in acid, causing life-altering burns. Investigators say that the suspect had asked about hydrochloric acid and ghost guns in the weeks prior, and that he attempted to cover his tracks with falsified GPS data. But what is even more disturbing is what happened next. Authorities say that the same suspect, who is now behind bars, allegedly orchestrated a second acid attack from jail, part of a murder-for-hire plot designed to divert attention away from his own trial. The accused remains in custody, facing multiple felony charges. This case has made national and international headlines, and while everything you will hear today is from Davina's personal experience, the legal case remains ongoing. We've bleeped out the name of the alleged attacker throughout this episode out of respect for the legal process and the presumption of innocence. Davina's story is not just one of unimaginable violence, but one of strength, recovery, and a powerful will to live. She has endured multiple facial reconstructive surgeries and now has chosen to use her voice to speak out. As part of this interview, Davina told us, "My body is a crime scene." Today, we listen. Welcome to Steph & T, where every week I'm going to introduce you to the people behind jaw-dropping, life-altering true stories from all over the world. I'm Stephanie Jones, TV host, storyteller, and your partner in crime for the wildest podcast ride you've ever been on. Each episode, you'll hear shocking stories that'll make you realize we humans are capable of anything. Now, let's spill the tea. Davina, I appreciate you so much being here and chatting with me. Tell me a little bit about you. Who were you before you were attacked in April 2023? What kind of things were you focused on? What was going on in your world at that time?
Okay. Well, at that time, I was living in Hawaii. I was in prep for a bodybuilding show. I was gonna compete that April, so I was like very close to like my show date. What else? I was working as a barista. I would go to the beach with my friends like almost every day, or go on a hike, like just always outside in the nature. Like it's Hawaii, like if you're inside, what are you doing? So I was just always like outside, like just enjoying the sun.
You were very outdoorsy. You're living life to the full, happy-go-lucky with your friends, doing your thing. And you mentioned that you were getting ready for a competition. So what kind of competition were you getting ready for?
I'm a bodybuilder, so I was getting ready for the Stingray competition. I do wellness, like that's the category that I was going to compete in.
So you're busy living your life. And in April 2023, you were attacked by a guy. You actually knew him as well. Tell me a little bit about how you'd met him, and what kind of relationship you had. What part did he play in your life?
So I had met him when I first moved to Hawaii. I was buying a car off of like Facebook Marketplace, and he was the one selling the car. I think the first day I moved to the island, I went to go see a car that day. And I was like, I'm new here, I'm gonna make friends. So when I saw that it was like a guy my age, we started talking, we became friends. He sold me the car. We were just like hanging out, and he eventually he asked me like if I wanted to date him, and I was like I barely know you. I just met you, but we can see like if it develops into anything. And so we kept hanging out, and I saw a lot of red flags. And he was just a very sketchy person. And as I noticed that, I was like, I don't really want him in my life. Like, I don't want to be involved with people like that. Every time I was with him, like I would just feel bad. Like my stomach would hurt. I would just feel sick. Like your body tells you when you're not supposed to be around something or someone. You know what I mean? He would, like, he was just very sketchy. He would show up places where I was, and I would never tell him I was there. He would lie a lot about things that didn't matter. Since I was getting close to like compete, I was like, I just want to focus on that. And it does take a lot of energy being a bodybuilder. You have to be eating right. You have to be hitting the gym like twice a day, and you have to be getting the right amount of sleep. You can't be stressed. Like, everything plays a factor into how your physique looks on that stage. And I just didn't want the stress. I didn't want the worry.
So like you said, you've moved to a new place. One of the first people you met, you start to build a bit of a relationship with, and then you started seeing these red flags. He's turning up at places that he shouldn't have really known why you were there, so maybe following you. Was he ever aggressive towards you or controlling when you were seeing him and hanging out?
No, that's the thing. He was never like, I mean, he was aggressive towards like other people, but never towards me. I never thought he would like hurt me, but you never know. You never know. That's why be careful who you have around you. You know, you don't know what anyone's capable of. They could just flip out one day.
You may have spotted a few red flags and like weird things that he was doing, but never anything that made you feel particularly unsafe.
I did feel unsafe though sometimes, because he would always be getting into fights with people, like doing like underground stuff. He was very like obsessive.
You said to him, hey, I'm not really interested in a romantic relationship. What was his vibe when you said, look, it's just friends for now?
Honestly, he seemed a little like bothered, like mad, but it wasn't like a mad where I was like, I'm scared. We didn't argue or nothing. And I was like, I mean, we could still be like cool. You know what I mean? I didn't think he would go and attack me, try to kill me. Like, that's kind of crazy. I barely knew you for 6 months.
Talk me through what actually happened that night. I know that you were training in the gym. Talk me through like step by step what happened when you left.
So I'm leaving the gym, walk into my car, and as I get like kind of basically like to my trunk, the trunk of my car, I feel somebody run up on this side of me. And so I turn to like see who it is, and immediately there's a gun in my face. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm staring down the barrel of the gun. I see a guy wearing a mask holding it, and I kind of think for a second, like, is this a joke? Like, is this a prank? Like, what's going on? I don't have enemies. I was new to this island. I thought it was a joke. And then I soon realized it wasn't when the gun went off, and I thought I was dead. I was like, this is it. This is where I die. My life flashed before my eyes, you know, how they say that. It's true, though. It really does happen. Like, everything is happening so fast, yet so slow. I thought I was dead. My ears started ringing, and then I like opened my eyes, realized like the bullet didn't hit me, and I'm like, oh my God, run. So I try to turn to run. Thank God I turned, because that's when he threw the acid on me, and it got this side of my face, and then it got like my whole body. It dripped down to my legs. And since I was only wearing a sports bra and like spandex shorts, it was direct skin contact. It didn't burn through anything. Had I been wearing like a jacket, I would have had time to like save my skin, but it was just directly on my skin. As he threw the acid on me, he ran off, and I thought it was like a warm liquid. It didn't necessarily burn for the first like second, but then it started to burn really bad, and I knew this is not good. This is not good. I ran inside the gym, and I told the girl working the front desk to call 911 that someone threw something on me. I was panicking. All the people that were in the gym ran to the front to see like what was going on, like what happened, and I was panicking. My flesh was burning off, melting off my body. One of the girls came and she brought me like a towel, because my clothes was literally melting off. Like, I was naked in front of these people, and she brought me a towel, covered me up. She took me to the shower, put me under the water, and immediately when I got into the water, I put my face first, because in my head I was like, if I get burned, I don't want my face to get messed up. Like, I would save my face first, and my hair. I was worried about my hair too. So I got in the water, but it started to burn more, so I thought I was making it worse. So I got out the water. That's when I remember like the paramedics getting there, and then they took me out, put me on the stretcher, put me in the ambulance, and then they put the oxygen mask on me, and then I just blacked out.
I can't imagine the fear, the terror in that moment, and the pain. What did it feel like? Did you know immediately what happened? Did you guess this is acid, or what went through your head?
It just felt like it was burning. Like, I don't think there is any way to explain how that feels. I didn't know acid attacks were a thing until I was attacked. Honestly, I didn't know what it was, but the fact that it was burning, I knew it was like some kind of chemical. That's all I knew until I woke up in the hospital and they told me like, he threw acid on you. Like,
Obviously, the paramedics came, you were put in an ambulance and you passed out, and you were actually in a coma for a week. When you first woke up, what was going through your mind when you woke up?
When I first woke up, I just remember feeling like half of my face was like gone. Like I literally thought it was missing because I couldn't feel it. I asked the nurse, like, am I dying? And she was like, no, you're going to be all right. Like, I thought she was lying to me. I was like, no, like, I feel like I'm dying. Like, this is my last day. Like, I'm going to die right now. When my family, like, came back to see me, like, for when I first woke up, I was like, I need to make it to my competition. Like, what day is it? And they were like, you're not getting out anytime soon. I didn't know how bad it was. I thought I would, like, be out of there, like, fast. They were like, you don't understand, like, you're going to be here for a while. Like, that's when it kind of hit. I was like, yeah, like, there goes all that training.
When threw that acid on you, he hit 30% of your body. Face, your arms.
Everywhere. My doctor said that since it's acid and it drips down, he had to do more skin grafts than like what I got burned. Like I'm more than 30% burned, but the amount of skin grafts I have is more.
Burn recovery in itself is one of the most painful, grueling healing processes that there can possibly be. What did that recovery look like for you? Whether it was physical, emotional, like in the months, because this is months of healing that followed. What does that healing look like?
It was really hard, honestly. Physically, I just felt super tight, super itchy. When anyone gets a cut, it gets a little itchy, but imagine you have these huge cuts all over your body, like how itchy they get. Our nerve endings are burned off. They have to like regrow, and that's why it starts to itch so much. Just very tight. My skin was super like dark red, purple. Like I couldn't move. If you sit in one position too long and then you try to move, like your whole skin is like stuck. Like you gotta like stretch out of that position. Like you gotta be careful. Since I'm burned behind my legs, my knees were like a big problem. So bending my leg and like having to stretch it out, like it would get stuck a lot. It was just very bad. I had to go through a lot of physical therapy to help that. A lot of like massaging, stretching. I still have to stretch on the daily. It's like a never ending thing. Like forever, for the rest of my life, it's gonna be tight. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hard. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I think it completely changed who I am as a person. Like my whole chemistry in my body, I'm not gonna lie. Emotionally, it was like a roller coaster. I feel like it still is. I have like a lot of ups and downs. It was a lot worse when it first happened. I had a lot of like very low lows. I pushed through it and now I'm here, which I'm so thankful for. And just spiritually, I think it really helped me grow as a person. I started reading a lot of books like about like why things happen to us. It changed my perspective on why this happened to me and what I could do to help others through my story. Overall, just like one of the hardest things anyone could go through.
Well, how did you stay so strong? And how did you push through, like you say, you went through the lowest of lows or the darkest moments? What got you through those times?
Honestly, I would pray to God a lot. Honestly, I would talk to him. Like I would be in the shower, like taking a shower was a whole thing. Like it took me like an hour or two to shower because of just how painful it was. I couldn't move. My sister had to help me shower. Like when I started being able to shower alone, like I remember just like being in the shower, like crying and like talking to God and just praying to him. I would say like reading books, like motivational books, that helped a lot just to like take me. I feel like when you read a book, it takes you into another world and like, you know, the escapism, like you don't want to be where you're at. So you read a book, you know what I mean? I would go outside and just take walks. I think definitely the people around me, I know I was very like mean to them. I was in pain. I wasn't feeling good. I would take it out on them and they kind of like just took it. Like they were like, yeah, we understand.
I know, trust me when I say this, from speaking with other people that have had burns of different kinds. There was another gentleman on the podcast that I spoke with, and he said he really witnessed that a lot when he was part of his recovery and he was in the hospital. And I think it's like the sheer amount of pain and frustration and hurt. It's like overwhelming. Don't beat yourself up for that. I wish I could give you a hug.
Yeah. It's like a complete like 360. Like your life is just completely switched upside down. It's hard.
How did the attack change your relationship with your own body? Not only as a survivor, but also as an athlete, because you were an athlete, you were a bodybuilder, you're training, right? So how did that affect your relationship with your own self?
Dang, that's a good question. I'm about to cry more. My God. That was like probably the hardest thing, I'm not gonna lie. Like that was the one thing in the hospital that I was like the most, I hate to say, like, this sounds so shallow, but that's what I was worried about, because as a competitor, they look at your body, like you're judged based off of how your body looks. And the fact that I had worked years, like years of work was put into that, not just a couple months. I was like devastated. I remember asking my family, like, how, like, am I ever gonna look how I used to look? And they're like, they would always tell me, like, not exactly, but like you could still get to where you were. And like I hated them telling me that, because I wanted to look exactly how I used to look. Like I was so focused on how I looked. And that was without me even seeing how I had looked yet, because my whole body was bandaged up. I just knew that it was bad. But then when I got home and like could actually see all the scars and like, and see my room for the first time, like after it not being touched for months, like the life that I used to live, and me walking in, I felt like a stranger. You know what I mean? Honestly, it was like heartbroken. I think that's the worst kind of heartbreak you could feel, is like losing yourself. Like that's genuinely, I felt like that girl had died and I was like somebody else, like just imposter syndrome. That was the hardest thing. And then having to like shower and see my body like completely different. It's like I woke up one day and my whole body changed. Like I couldn't recognize myself. And every time I would look in the mirror and see my scars, like they were bright red, bright purple, they would hurt, I would think about like my body's literally a crime scene. Like it was hard. And I guess just as they healed, as my scars got better, as I started going back to the gym, I realized like I'm still me. I still have the strength inside me. Like I can get back to where I was, and I could get even better than that. Yes, I have scars, but like they tell a story and they look kind of cool, I think. So so I don't mind.
Absolutely. You're badass.
Thank you.
I think honestly you're so brave, and I can't even begin to imagine both the physical and psychological pain that this man has caused you, the strength and power you've had to have within yourself to rebuild your life in every sense and facet of the word. Davina, you are incredible. You made it, and you made it through, and you're doing fantastic, and you're here to tell the tale, and that's a miracle. And I hope you feel proud of yourself. I hope you realize how much like you have overcome, like the power that is within you, in your spirit, in your soul, to make you who you are now. You are incredible. How did they catch him? Did you know it was him when that gun was in your face? Like, did you, because obviously you said the guy was wearing a mask, right?
So yeah, he was wearing a mask, but we made eye contact, and I knew that I knew this person. I was like, I've seen these eyes before. He has very beady eyes. They look soulless. There's no soul behind them. When I woke up from the hospital, like after that coma, I had asked my mom, like, was it who attacked me? And she said, we don't know yet. Like, they're still investigating. It took them 2 weeks to catch him. And she said, yeah, it was. You know, I was like, I knew it. Like, who else could it have been? He's been in jail. And recently there was an update. We're kind of jumping far ahead, but I do want to talk about this just so people know, so I could raise attention to this, because I don't think this is right. But he committed another acid attack, right? He got another guy in jail to commit the attack. And recently they had like the court hearing, and the judge said it was okay for the trials to be like separate, which is not cool, because should be charged for both of them because it's so he could get a harsher sentence. Like they're just being way too lenient with it. It's Hawaii. They really don't. They're not harsh on crime, which sucks for me. But yeah, I hope he gets what he deserves. I hope he's never let out into public again. Like, what do they think he's gonna go out and do? He's gonna ruin so many other women's lives.
What was his sentencing? How long was he sentenced to jail for? How long did they give him?
They haven't even done that. He's just been in jail. We haven't gone to court yet.
As a survivor, how does that make you feel, knowing that he's still awaiting his punishment, basically?
I mean, it's frustrating. They did tell me that these cases could take up to like 5 years to go to court. It's been 2 years. So, I mean, I'm not surprised, but it is annoying. At least he's sitting in jail. He's not out free. But when that does come around, like the court, I hope they give him the harshest. Like, I hope they see him for what he really is and give him what he deserves.
You just mentioned the fact that you found out that the man that had attacked you allegedly been behind a second acid attack. And this one allegedly was a murder for hire plot against another woman. He conducted that while he was already behind bars or in jail, awaiting, obviously, everything that's going to happen with case between you guys. Talk me through that story and what happened to her.
All I know is that they were like cellmates, and he got this guy, and he went and attacked another girl so that they wouldn't think committed the first attack. And they found evidence against him, writing instructions about where to get the acid, how to handle the acid. They committed that attack. Once I found out, I was just devastated for that girl. If he's able to commit another attack while he's behind bars, imagine what he's going to do when he's outside. Yeah, they both don't deserve to see the light of day.
I mean, it just deepens the horror of what this man is capable of.
Exactly.
This is also premeditative. He's had to go out and get acid. Like, where do you even get that from? He's had to research that. Like, what gives someone the idea to do that? It's like full on do one of the most heinous crimes you can possibly commit. You don't just do that off a whim. Just think it shows more of the horror behind this person and what they can be capable of, and the fact that they've allegedly paid somebody to go out and do this and commit another crime to cover up their tracks is even more heinous. You've expressed so much empathy for the second victim, who obviously was just going about her life like you were, completely innocent, when her life has been completely turned upside down just like you. What would you say to her if she was listening to this today?
I would say, I'm here for you. Reach out to me. I know it's hard, but you will get through it, and your life's not over. You're still lovable. Someone will still love you for who you are. Yeah, you're still beautiful. If you got a beautiful soul, it will show.
After surviving something so traumatic and having to repiece your life together again, it must feel like a struggle, to be honest, to feel safe, I imagine. How do you navigate that? How do you feel safe in the world after what happened?
I don't. I don't feel safe. I struggle with that on a daily basis. I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of PTSD. I constantly am like aware. Like, I'm always looking over my shoulder. Like, I hate when people get close to me. I will not go out when people are out. I hate going. I try to operate during the night so no one's out, or like, yeah, I just hate being out when everyone else is out. Or even at the gym. Like, every time I walk out of the gym, I'm worried that I'm gonna get attacked. It's so easy for people to learn your schedule and to be able to stalk you more than you realize. So like, I'm just constantly worried about stuff like that, which was not normal because I was never worried about that before. So I know it's that PTSD, but it's just something I deal with. I just kind of tell myself, like, God's got me, like, God's watching over me.
What does healing look like for you now? Not just like the physical, but also the emotional. And you've mentioned leaning on God a lot. Do you go to therapy? Is there anyone close to you that you can talk to? How do you handle your emotions and everything that you go through, my love?
I do a lot, honestly. I mean, working out is a big thing. If I'm ever feeling really down or mad and I just kind of want to shut the world out, I'll go for a workout. Like, I'll also just journal it out. Reading like the Bible and just like talking to God. when I'm feeling like really overwhelmed. I do go to therapy, so I do have a therapist. Listening to music, I think that's like a big thing that calms me down.
How do you feel about like life now and moving forwards? You got back in the gym. That's a milestone that you've now achieved. And I can see on your Instagram, you're in there, you're lifting weights, you're doing your thing. What was that like going back and like having that goal that you could achieve and be like, I did it. I'm back. I'm back to what I love.
It feels really good, honestly. Now that I've like reached that goal, it's like I have other goals. Like I want to compete soon, hopefully by the end of this year, if not next year. I'm actually excited like for the future, when before I felt like my whole life was over. I was not excited for the future at all. I just wanted to die, honestly. But now I'm like actually excited for what the future brings, and all the new people I'm gonna meet and the people I've been meeting. Like I'm just so thankful for all the opportunities that have like been thrown my way. I owe that to God, honestly.
Well, I'll be excitedly watching, that's for sure. Like I'm gonna be like, go, go, go. You can do it. I love it. What else is on the bucket list for you, Davina?
I want to go back to school soon, do physical therapy so I could help other like burn survivors. When I felt like, when I was on my deathbed, like I thought to myself, like, I haven't seen the world enough. I need to start traveling more. Life's too short. Like, I want to see the world. I just want to find genuine people and enjoy my time here.
Let's go back to, have you ever had the chance to speak to him? How are you feeling about when that time may come in the legal process? How are you feeling about all that?
I'm kind of scared for that. I'm not going to lie. I feel like once I see him, I'm just going to be really angry. And I'm going to want to take out my anger. But I'm going to have to control myself. You know what I mean? I do want him to see me still here, still capable, still beautiful. You know what I mean? That he's not going to take my light. You know what I mean? But I'm also scared because I feel like if he sees me doing good, or he sees me like healthy, or, you know, just not suffering, he's going to want to come and like finish the job, which is very scary.
Is there anything that you would want to say to him? Because I know you said like you've got this anger, which you're worried will come out when you see him, which I think is very understandable.
I don't think there's anything I could say to him to get through to his head. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of wasting my words?
Do you feel as though you've been able to get any kind of closure? Or is it still something that you're working towards, and or like that will be like not until this whole chapter is finished and you know what his sentence is?
That's hard. I think I have gotten some kind of closure. Not really like closure. Like I definitely have healed more. I feel like healing fully is like a journey. Like it never ends, right? I feel like since the trial is not over, since like all that stuff still has to happen, there's going to be other milestones of closure that I have along the way. Like it's just something I'm going to continue to think about for the rest of my life. Like it's going to be constantly in my mind, at the front of my head.
Davina, I don't think you give yourself anywhere near enough credit. You are so sweet and you're so strong. I know you're physically strong. I've seen the pictures of you. I know physically you are strong, but mentally you're really, really strong. So just know that you speaking about it and being so honest and expressing those things that were so hard, you are really helping other people. Thank you for that, because I don't think you realize how impactful it is.
Thank you for having me, because that's my goal, is just to be able to help others through my story, like, and just let them know like they're not alone. Yeah, the way I think of it is like I thought I was preparing for a bodybuilding show, but God was like, you're preparing for like the fight of your life. You know what I mean?
You did it and you survived it.
I survived.
You're here.
Amen.
You're alive and you're incredible.
Thank you.
I really want to thank Davina for her bravery, for stepping forward to share her harrowing experience with us despite the pain, the trauma, and the ongoing legal battle. Her strength is unshakable. Her words are unforgettable, and her story deserves to be heard. This is a case still moving through the courts with multiple suspects, including the individual accused of both acid attacks awaiting trial. We will not speculate, but we will continue to amplify the voices of survivors. If Davina's story has moved you, please share it with someone. Raise awareness about acid attacks and the long, often invisible road to recovery. Stand up for victims, advocate for protection, and let's always lead with compassion. If you love today's episode, leave us a review or send it to a friend. Follow Steph and T so you never miss out, and we will be back next week.